Hotep to the mighty scholars of Sankofa Freedom Academy Charter School. Welcome to another week of cyber programming and welcome to Morning Circle with Baba Mark. It is Tuesday, April 13th. Yes, it is April 13th, and you are back for another week of cyber school programming. And I'm so happy that you guys are here. I'm so happy that you made it. I'm happy that I made it. Last week was a little rocky for me. I had to get used to being home and staying there. So it took a lot of mental training, and I hope that you all had some time to mentally train yourselves to get through all of this. And we are going to get through it. We're going to get through it together. We're going to get through it with us together at Morning Circle with your facilitators. Your facilitators have been working so hard to prepare your lessons, and you're going to see them very soon. Mama Tony has a very special message for you. She's about to be on the show. But before we do anything, I said show like this is an actual show. This is Morning Circle with Bob and Mark. This is not a show. This is not PBS. This is Sankofa Freedom Academy Charter School. And so, like we do at Sankofa Freedom Academy Charter School, let's start our day with the pouring of libations. So I would like for everybody to please stand up, and I hope you remember how we do this. We haven't been going that long. Please stand up, stand in a strong Angalaya. Brothers with their arms like this, sisters with their arms like this. We are standing at attention. We are standing in power. And of course, I have permission from our elder to begin. So to that, we say Ashe. First and foremost, family, we pour libations to the gift of life and learning. Ashe. We pour libations to new beginnings. Ashe. We pour libations to the energy that woke us up this morning, and I know that we are all grateful for that energy this morning. I know I am. Ashe. We pour libations to the cradle of civilization known as Africa. Ashe. Oh, and Africa gave us so many things. They gave us humanity. Africa, the continent, gave us civilization and humanity. Ashe. And they gave us, and Africa gave us arithmetic, Ashe, and astronomy, Ashe, and the sciences, Ashe, and scripture, Ashe, and agriculture, Ashe. And we pour to the kingdoms and the kingdoms and queendoms of these nations, kingdoms like the kingdom of Cush, Ashe, kingdom of Kemet, Ashe, Songhai, Ashe, Yoruba, Ashe, Zulu, Ashe, Maasai, Ashe, Congo, Ashe. And family, we pour libations to the kings and queens of these nations, Ashe. Kings like Mansa Musa, Ashe, Sunny Ali, Ashe, Shaka, Ashe, Queen Nzinga, Ashe, Queen Nefertiti, Ashe, and Queen Amina, Ashe. And we pour libations to the freedom fighters of the continent of Africa. We have to remember the freedom fighters of the continent of Africa, which were first freedom fighters like Patrice Lumumba, Ashe. Freedom fighters like Nelson Mandela, Ashe. And Kwame Nkrumah, Ashe. And we pour libations to the cities of the continent of Africa that flourished, Ashe, and to those who remained on the continent of Africa, but also to those lives who left the continent of Africa and helped build humanity across the world, helped humanity flourish across the world, Ashe. And we pour libations to the kingdoms of North America, Central America, South America, and the Caribbean, Ashe. Kingdoms like the Mayas, the Incas, the Tainos, the Iroquois, the Caribs, Ashe. And then we pour libations to those who were taken from the continent of Africa and brought over to North America, Central America, and South America. We pour to the Ma'afa, the Middle Passage, the lives that were lost, the millions of lives that were lost through the Middle Passage, Ashe. And we pour to those who survived and made it over to the new continents, to the new world, those from whom we descend, Ashe. They survived so much through so many years. And family, we are going to make it through our challenges right now because they set that example that we are capable to survive and make it through anything, Ashe. And we pour affirmations to the institutions, the HBCUs, Sankofa Freedom Academy Charter School, Imhotep, and the Freedom School Movement, Ashe. Those institutions that teach us about our history, teach us about our legacy, our burdens, and our greatness, and help us lead us into the future, Ashe. And we pour it to the scholars, those who continue to learn about our history in order to make it to the future, Ashe. And we pour to you, those who are in our circle that are growing and helping us guide into the future, who are guiding us into the future, Ashe. And to the babies and the babies' babies and those who are going to come and complete our circle, Ashe. And family, let's pour also to our ancestors, our personal ancestors and our direct bloodline. And you may think of some of your ancestors in your mind and hold them in your hearts. Ashe. And lastly, family, we pour to the ancestors and hope that they accept and receive this libation. Ashe. 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 All right. Yes, family. I am so excited about this week. There's so many things that we're going to be doing this week. It is a new month. So that means it's a new principle. So the principle of the month for this month, the month of April, is Nia. And Nia means purpose. And it is so fitting for us to have the principle of the month being Nia, purpose, because we are really showing Kujichagulia with Sankofa Freedom Academy Charter School. And I really want to shout out and commend and really recognize and thank all of the facilitators, all of the educators, but also all of the parents. Because we are really showing purpose. Our purpose at Sankofa is to educate and love one another. And we have shown so much of that. I thank Brother Issa. I thank Dr. Mama. I thank all of the facilitators. And I have a list of facilitators and parents who I want to list during our recognitions. Because they have been showing purpose. They have been showing that the purpose of Sankofa Freedom Academy Charter School is to educate and love one another, to love our scholars, to love our community, to educate so that we could grow together and remain strong together. So I am so excited just for everything that is happening. I'm excited for our cyber experience. I am excited about the new principle of the month, but also because we have a new principle of the month, we have to recognize our students of the month for the month of March. And I have an entire list that I'm going to be doing with you shortly. Also, we have a new book of the month. And the new book of the month, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, is Little Legends, Exceptional Men in Black History. And we are going to be reading stories about some of our legends in our history, starting with my favorite legend and historian himself, Arturo Schomburg. And so, family, without wasting any more time, let's get into that. Let's start our read aloud. And so, first and foremost, again, the principle of the month is what? And that means Ashe. But family, enjoy the story about Arturo Schomburg, and I hope you like it. And listen out for any key words that you might hear. And I'm going to share what the word of the day is as soon as we are done our story. Yay, Bo? Yay, Bo.
Little Legends, Exceptional Men in Black History by Vashti Harrison. Today's legend is Arturo Schomburg, 1874 to 1938. When Arturo was growing up in Puerto Rico, he asked his teacher why there weren't any black people in their history books. She told him it was because black people had no history. Even though he was a child, Arturo knew that this could not be true. He dedicated his life to searching for, collecting, and preserving the stories of Africans around the world. Arturo began to research on his own, finding stories of people like poet Phillis Wheatley and inventor Benjamin Banneker. Arturo was amazed by the black man who built the first clock in America, Why were there no monuments to him, he wondered. This was the beginning of his quest to find more stories of Black heritage. In 1891, Arturo moved to New York City, where he worked as a law clerk. His main job was to index and organize paperwork, skills that would soon come in handy. In the United States, he was able to pursue his new passion of rare book hunting. The books he was looking for, written about or by Black people, were often really expensive. Arturo saw them for what they were, treasures. Soon, his collection grew into a library so big that there was no place left in Arturo's house. In 1926, he sold his entire collection to the New York Public Library for $10,000. Its new home was at the 135th Street branch in Harlem. He used the money to travel to Europe, where he was thrilled to look for art featuring Black people. Arturo dedicated his life to preserving his people's culture, campaigning for Puerto Rican liberation, and advocating for Black history courses to be included in the U.S. education system. In 1972, the New York Public Library transferred his collection to a facility that would eventually become the Schomburg Center for Research in Black Culture. Arturo turned a simple question into a hobby, which grew into a passion, which transformed the way we document cultural history in America. Without his curiosity and excitement, so much history may have been lost to the world forever.
Hotep scholars, and I really hope that you guys enjoyed that story that I put together for you from our book of the month, Little Legends, Exceptional Men in Black History. It was about a person that I admired growing up, Arturo Schomburg, who is a historian. He's one of my very favorite people of our history. He is from the metropolitan area that I grew up in, and he shares the same passion as I do is in collecting books and collecting stories about our people, about our history. And so I hope that you guys enjoyed it. And I want you to comment down below your thoughts of the story, your thoughts about Arturo Schomburg, anything that maybe had sparked in your mind that gave you sort of like an aha moment or made you go, But also, I want you to comment down below the word of the day. And the word of the day, brothers and sisters, family, the word of the day is history. History. We talk about our Black History Month. We talk about how we celebrate Black history at Sankofa. But we have to keep in mind that Black history didn't start during enslavement. It didn't start during the Civil Rights Movement. Black history goes back thousands of years. Black history goes back not just to the Kemet nation, but before that, the Kush nation, and goes even further back. We have to think about Mali. We have to think about all of these kingdoms that occurred in our history that we don't really talk about much here in the present day in society. When we think about Black history, we automatically think of civil rights, Martin Luther King and Malcolm X and Harriet Tubman, which is great. Those are people from African American history and Black history, but we have to go back further, hundreds, over 1,000 years. And the role that Arturo Schomburg plays in our history is reminding us of our legacy and how enslavement is not necessarily part of our history. It's part of our story, but it interrupted a great history, the great history of ours. So yes, our word of the day is history, brothers and sisters. But also comment down below any other words that came into your mind when you were listening to the story. But at this time, family, I have a very special treat for you. I have a very special guest, and I want you to check it out. All right, here you go. I have a very special person that I want to bring to you to show you. She has a very special message, and I know that you all miss her very much. And family, that is Mama Tony. Hey, Mama.
Hotep to the mighty scholars of Sankofa Freedom Academy Charter School. This is Mama Tony, yay! And I just wanted to stop by and welcome you to phase 2 of our cyber school program and to encourage you to do your very best. We're looking for you to sign in after Morning Circle with Bob and Mark and answer the magic question with the word of the day. So I know you guys are used to answering that magic question, how y'all feeling, but for attendance purposes, we need you to answer with the word of the day. Give Bob and Mark a comment about how you felt about the story or what the word of it means to you. And then after that, you will click into your classrooms and get started with teaching and learning for today. I miss you guys so much, and I can't wait till we are all able to go into our building again. But until then, this is our new norm. I hope to see you real soon, and I want you to have a fantastic, terrific day. Ashe.
Ashe. Thank you, Mama Tony. Oh man, so I hope that you guys were excited to see Mama Tony. I was excited to have her on Morning Circle, and she's going to be on Morning Circle more often, especially on Fridays. And please make sure that you sign in on Friday. I mean, I know you will, but just make sure that you are here and excited, ready for Friday, because we're going to have Mama Tony, but we're also going to have a few other guests on board as well. We got this new technology that we're working through, and it's making us a lot more interactive. So although we miss each other and we can't see each other physically in person, we are going to see a lot of each other technologically. So so please make sure that you stay tuned. It was so exciting and so just calming, and it just felt really nice to see Mama Tony and hear her voice and see her face, and I know we see each other on emails and phone calls and things like that, but it's just so nice to be able to see her face. But I know that we're all going to see each other very soon in person. And make sure that you go on sfacs.us and click on Cyber Program Lower School and check out Mama Tony's message on our website, and that will guide you through our next phase of our cyber programming. And then after that, click on your facilitator's link and get started with your work, because we got a lot of work to do, and we got to keep growing. We got to keep going and keep growing. And so, because that's our nia, that's our purpose. All right, so at this time, family, I want to make a few recognitions. Just recognize a few scholars who have been commenting and who have been showing themselves through in our videos and showing ourselves in our morning circles and in our work. Now, this is a huge list, so I'm just going to do a few today, and I'm going to do a few tomorrow, and also this week I'm going to be recognizing our scholars of the month. And our scholars of the month, family, although we are not seeing each other physically, I'm still going to have some very special treats for our scholars of the month, so keep an eye on that. That will be announced this week. Again, we have our scholars of the month, we have a new book of the month, we have a new principal of the month, and I'm going to keep that going. But anyway, our scholars, excuse me, that I would like to recognize, our first scholar is Zion COVID. Brother, I know that you've been checking this out online, and I know that you have been doing your work, and I know that you have been doing so well, and I want to make sure that I get your name out there. Zion COVID. I also want to recognize Dior Austin. Dior Austin, keep coming on and making those comments. Demain Austin, you as well, brother, keep up with those comments and keep participating. Luke Ellaby, continue to sign on, brother, and it's great seeing you. And Rodney Tanksley, brother, I see you every single day. Keep it up. Chase Peterson as well, brother, I see you. Michaela Grant, I see you. Soleil Hardy Moore, keep up the great work. Keep participating. Dennis Holmes, I see you every single day, brother, online, so keep it up. Michaela Turner and Charles Turner, family, keep up the great work. I see you guys every day and signing in and making comments. Please keep it up and make sure that you sign in today and comment down below the word of the day. And family, the word of the day is history. Again, the word of the day is history. And so make sure that you comment below and also comment any other thoughts that may have sparked in your mind from our Read Aloud. And family, I have a very special recognition that I would like to share. from Mama Renee. She would like to recognize these very special people who have been very supportive during our phase 1 of our cyber program. And those people are the parents of her scholars. And parents that she would like to recognize are: one, Ms. Gant, who is the parent of Soleil Hardy Moore. She would like to also recognize Sister Chris, who is not just the facilitator at Sankofa, but she is the parent of some of our scholars. She is the parent of Drew Noling in the Yoruba Nation. Mama Renee would also like to recognize Miss Comfort Bowens, who is the parent of Charlotte Bowens. Mama Renee would also like to recognize the parent of Jade Wells, Miss Wells. She would like to recognize for your support. Mama Renee would also like to recognize Miss Stroman, who is the parent of Kobe Parks. Mama Renee would also like to recognize Miss Hamlin, who is the parent of Milan Hamlin. Mama Renee would also like to recognize Miss Canada, the parent of Siraj Daichis. And Mama Renee would also like to recognize Sister Tanika, who is not just a coordinator at Sankofa. She is not just a phenomenal facilitator at Sankofa. She is also a phenomenal parent of our Sankofa scholars, and she's the parent of Aubrey Bowens. Mama Renee would also like to recognize Miss Kiara, who is the parent of Zuri Artist Powell. And Mama Renee would also like to recognize Miss Gullidge, who is the parent of Ryan Gullidge. So, family, I'm going to continue to recognize parents as well, because you are a part of our NIA. You are in such support and of what we do. You are helping us love your children and you are supporting us in helping your children grow. And so I truly appreciate all of the parents for continuing to allow us to reach your children. And at this time, family, I would like to close out with just that. Just recognizing our NIA, our purpose. Our purpose, like I said earlier, is to educate and to love our community. And it is important for us to understand what our NIA is, especially at times like this. As the weeks go on, we continue to wonder. We continue to wonder about what is next. We continue to wonder about whether we're going to see each other soon, or is it going to take a long time? And there's a lot of unknown. There's a lot of things that we just don't know. And so what should keep us grounded is understanding our NIA, our purpose. Whether we are at home or inside of our school building, we still have to practice our NIA, our purpose. Our purpose is to keep each other educated and keep each other loved, because we are a very strong community. I want to recognize again family members like Brother Issa, Dr. Mama, all of the facilitators who have been going to Sankofa to give out the Chromebooks, Mama Tony, Brother Jamil, who has been keeping our building open whenever we need it open, and all of the facilitators who have gone and supported us during these times, Brother Brian as well. And you know, I'm just thinking of all of these names, and I'm going to continue to call them out throughout the week. But again, family, during the times of unknown, where we just don't know what's going to happen next, when we are just so anxious about what is going on, just make sure that you understand your purpose. And your purpose is to grow, to learn, and to love your family members, to love yourself, to love those who love you, and keep us growing strong. And so let's think about that, and let's close out with the moment of silence and thinking about our purpose. The moment of silence begins now. And family, I want you to take a very deep, deep breath. And that deep breath symbolizes our life. We are taking deep breaths every single day, and we are going to continue to take deep breaths and relax and understand that we are going to get through this and we are going to serve our purpose. And so with that, family, I will see you tomorrow on another Morning Circle with Bible Mark. And I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. We're not asking for much. We're just asking for a couple of hours of learning throughout the day. So make sure that you get your work done. And again, family, be safe. I love you. Peace. Bye-bye.
Mo Jack the Building Tattoo.